Accion is 15. We're so happy and excited to be here in the journey of sustainability.
I am a CSO at Accion Microfinance Bank, that's customer service. I joined Accion Microfinance Bank in 2018 November, and since then it has been a wonderful journey. They have supported me in so many ways. Number one, they make the workplace convenient for me. Like when I joined, I was transferred to a Ikeja branch, and even before I would resume, they had already rebuilt the convenience so I would be able to have access to it. And they also made sure that the entrance to the bank was very accessible to me. So that has really helped me a lot. Accion Microfinance Bank is a great place to work for everybody, and especially for the challenge, the physically challenged like me, because anytime I have any issue and I just say it out, it's just for me to say it out, it will be quickly looked into and resolved. All the staff are supportive. They don't treat me like maybe I'm different, the way some people in society will treat PWDs, there's people living with disability. I just feel comfortable at my workplace and at home with everyone. The most memorable moment was the day I came for my interview after the written test. I actually did not believe that Accion would give me the opportunity to work with them. I just wrote the exam and I felt, okay, at least I've done my part. But when I got the text message to come for the interview, I was very surprised. And when I came, I went upstairs, and after some time, I was invited into the MD's office. Although I did not know it was the MD because I didn't know him. But he was so friendly and so down to earth. When I now finally knew that it was the MD, I was like, this is wonderful. So that day, I can never forget that day. The way the interview went, it was so friendly, and the head of the HRO head, they were so friendly and so down to earth. So I just knew that it's a place where we have positive vibe for the staffs. Okay, another experience I can never forget is the day I got an automatic wheelchair from the management of Accion. I was so happy that day. Although when I got the chair and I sat on it, I just started scattering everything around the office, but I had to learn it, and it really helps me in the office, like when I'm carrying files from one place to another.
So I joined Accion Microfinance Bank in March 2011 as the head of internal audit. Later on, I moved to the operations as Chief Operations Officer in 2014, and currently I head Risk Management, Control and Compliance, the role I resumed in 2018. Some of the achievements of the bank that I'm proud of is one, in 2014, when the bank acquired its national license, I was very proud as the staff of the bank. And again, early 2018, we began to roll out of Lagos into other states. Accion Microfinance Bank has really changed in many ways. I take the processes and system, for example. There was a time in this bank that we used to do so many things manually. Officers on the field will capture customer information manually. The staff in the office will capture data manually. But now we've moved away from that manual capturing to automated processes and digitized operations. So we now have documents signed electronically, and we have our field officers now operating with the digital field applications on their mobile tablet. So they don't need to carry papers and documents around again. In terms of strategy, so the bank now move more towards digital banking. So the focuses and the emphasis are now on how things will be done by automation, how processes will be digitized, how customers can access their funds without having to do the branch physically. A few years to come, I see Accion, living to its true leadership status as an industry leader.
I joined Accion 3rd August 2008. I'm currently working in commercial department, head business banking, up-country. Accion started at a state microfinance bank. As at then, We had about 8 branches. We have grown from state to national microfinance bank, and we have grown from 8 branches to 83 branches. As at then, our portfolio was about 800 million. We have grown from 800 million to 12 billion.
I joined Accion in the year 2007, our 1st of February to be precise, one of the pioneer staff. I was trained as customer service officer. As I've earlier said, I started as a customer service officer, and as time goes on, I was being promoted as a branch administrator. Then from there, I work in different branches, and presently I'm the head of a unit. So being rewarded, if you work well, the bank will surely reward you.
I joined the bank on the 1st of February 2007, and currently I'm the team lead talent management in HR department. When I joined the bank, I joined as an account officer, and it was interesting. We started in the market of Okeari. What keeps me motivated is when I see the impact, positive impact of my actions in people. I like the fact when I was in the commercial department as an account officer, a lot of times we meet customers that probably have shops beneath staircases. They don't even have shops. You know, they sell beneath staircases. But after 1 or 2 encounters, you realize they have shops. They have more than one shop. They are managing 2 or 3 shops. They start with 50,000. They are taking $1 million plus, you know. And then you see the impact of that in their family. I think that's what keeps me going. You know, when you see the effect or when you see your result, it keeps you moving. Accion has afforded me a lot of opportunities. I think I got this far not just because I had the interest or not just because I had the desire, but because I had the enabling environment. The environment was enabling. The management, they were able to identify, you know, areas that they feel were burdened and we could do well. So I think even while I was in commercial, I had lots of opportunities to do trainings. I even had an opportunity to go to Italy for a training, you know, so I had a lot of capacity development opportunities, and that, I would say, was one of the things that shaped me and helped me.
I joined Accion 2007, April 2007, and currently I'm an SME risk analyst with Accion. My first role in Accion, I started in 2007 as a back office staff with former MD Bumi Lawson. From there, I now moved to the finance department, which I spent close to 12 years. So from there, where I am currently in the risk department as an SME risk analyst. So that's the journey so far.
Yeah, I got to know about Accion's loan through a friend, person with disability also. And I was able to access their loan. And then I was making my charcoal in small units. So getting the loan, I was able to start in bags. So it was easier for me to start buying in bags so I can also reach more customers. Well, I've never been going about getting loan. But when I got to hear about Accion, and I also realized that their conditions were not that tedious. And also gave people with disability good concession. So I was able to approach them, and sincerely I got the loan in less than a week.
Mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní darapọ̀ pẹ̀lú Accion láti ọdún bíi 3 sẹ́yìn. And alákọ̀ọ́kọ́ tí màá kọ́kọ́ gba owó, mo gba 50,000 naira. Ìdẹ̀yìn tí mo gba 50,000 naira tán, wọ́n wá wo bí mo ṣe ń ṣe iṣẹ́, wọ́n wá wo gbogbo ọjà tí mò ń tà. Ìgbà tí wọ́n rí ọjà tí mò ń tà, mo wá ní kí tún ní káwọn fi ràn mí lọ́wọ́. Wọ́n wá ní pé mo nídìí pé kí n máa ra ọjà náà kó máa pọ̀ ju kí n máa ra kélekèle lọ. Àná wọ́n dẹ̀ fún mi ní owó yẹn, wọ́n fún mi ní 100,000 naira. Àná àwọn èèyàn kàn wò mí pé báwo ni ọmọbìnrin yìí ṣe ní owó lọ́wọ́ láti fi ra ọjà tó pọ̀ rẹpẹtẹ báyìí. Mo dẹ̀ polówó bank Accion fún àwọn èèyàn, àwọn ẹlẹgbẹ́ mi tó jẹ́ disabled, and they are really trying for me. Wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́.
Mo ti darapọ̀ mọ́ Accion fún 15 years now. Ọjà ni mo máa ń tà. Accion wọ́n really try gan. Bó dàbí ìgbà tẹ́ pé Ọlọ́run ló rán wọn wá ní especially fún ilé ayé àwa single mother báyìí. because nǹkan tí a lérò pé a lè ṣe pẹ̀lú ìrànlọ́wọ́ Accion a ṣe, and alhamdulillah mo fi tọ́ àwọn ọmọ mi lọ sí school. I have 3 graduates now, so ọjà mi náà dẹ̀ ṣe ń lọ dáadáa. So Accion ṣe àwọn lóyà, advice mo fẹ́ fún àwọn customer ni pé téèyàn bá ti lóyà pẹ̀lú Accion náà máa lóyà pẹ̀lú yàn.
So mo ti darapọ̀ mọ́ Accion ti tó 10 years nísìn. Ìgbà tí máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ Accion mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti 50, by doing that wọ́n ṣáà ń promote wa títí di 100. Ìgbà tí mo wọ Accion tí mo wọ̀, èèyàn kan ni mo sọ fún mo ní mo fẹ́ gba ọjà, èèyàn kan fẹ́ fún ní kí n bá wọn kí n ṣọjà fún un láti ìlú òyìnbó. Mo ní so owó ọwọ́ mi ò dẹ̀ kò tó, so ọ̀rẹ́ mi ló wá ń sọ pé ta ló fẹ́ yáyàn lówó Nàìjíríà nísìn, gbogbo èèyàn máa ní kò sí ni. So ọ̀rẹ́ mi ló wá mú mi lọ sí Accion ní Wúlọ́bì lóyìnbó nígbà yẹn lọ ṣe wà mẹ́. So ibẹ̀ ni mo ti start, ó wá mú mi débẹ̀, wọ́n ṣàṣì mí dáadáa, wọ́n fún mi ní fọ́ọ̀mù ní wá, wọ́n ṣá start fún mi, wọ́n fún mi lówó kíákíá, mo sáré fi run business yẹn, mo sáré fi ṣe. Ẹni yẹn ríṣẹ́ yẹn gbà ní London, inú èmi náà dùn sí i. Ìgbà tí mo ti choose Accion nìyẹn pé báńkì tó dáa ni, disappointing yẹn, wọ́n dẹ̀ máa ń ṣe yẹn dáadáa.
I've been in Accion since 10 years ago. So I'd say cosmetics wholesale in Nigeria market. So Accion supported me start from 300,000. So now I'm heading more than 2 million naira.
I joined Accion Microfinance 7 years ago when things were so difficult and so hard for me. I was just discussing with a friend that I don't know how to go about what I was facing that time. I told him about the loan I collected from a commercial bank. So he just said that, why don't you try Accion? And I want to say that Accion Microfinance has really supported my school. Since 7 years ago, they've been good to my business. So if I say I want to get some materials like uniform before we resume, if I just meet them, I say, quickly give me this money, I will be paying back. I really want to say thank you to Accion Microfinance. And what they did during the COVID, it really surprised me, because it's not only Accion Microfinance that I've been collecting money from. I know what other people did, but Accion really, they take it, they asked us to write letter. The interest was, I think, it was removed or so, if I can remember. So Accion has been trying, and they will do many more years in life. Thank you very much. God bless you.
And I have achieved a lot since I've been working with them, and I saw some differences between them and others. At least I've used them to have a building here in Lagos, and also achieve some certain landed properties in some areas, about 2 or 3 places, Owerri and Asaba at the same time. During the period I've been banking with Accion, within that period I've tested other microfinance, and I found out that the difference is clear between Accion and others. So I started with 150, but now I'm collecting 5 million. I would still say congratulations to Accion, kudos to them, more grace to them. Go increase their pulse and give them knowledge to help people more and more in Jesus' name.
Accion has been blessed by having a very committed group of shareholders with very committed board members who dedicate considerable time, thought, attention to the bank, both through the board meetings as well as committee meetings. And really it's a group of people who are not only deeply knowledgeable about finance, about banking, but really committed to supporting the informal sector, the microfinance sector in Nigeria, and trying to figure out how we can bring more and more people into the formal financial system through Accion Microfinance Bank. The board works very long hours. Board meetings are very detailed and intense. and cover very important issues in terms of how do we protect our clients, how do we ensure our clients get the best offering of products and services, how can we expand operations not just physically but also try to meet our clients where they live, in their places of businesses through digital financial services. And I've been very proud and pleased to be a part of this very august group of financial professionals who really dedicate their time and effort to Accion Microfinance Bank. One of the most satisfying achievements that I'm proud of as a board member of Accion Microfinance Bank really has been the resilience of the bank and the resilience of our staff and clients during this period of very difficult times in pandemic. Obviously the pandemic for all institutions created great uncertainty, created suffering, economic downturn, health effects, etc. And really the staff's attention to the client and a support for the client, as well as the bank's support for the staff members, I think was critical to seeing us through this very, very difficult time globally. That obviously had a big impact on the Nigerian economy, Nigerian people. And so very proud to have seen Accion Microfinance Bank continue to support its people, its clients, and set ourselves up for the emergence from the pandemic going forward. I think one of the hallmarks of Accion Microfinance Bank has been its openness to adapt to changing circumstances. And clearly, over the past few years, we have seen a dramatic change in how financial services are delivered. The bank is at the forefront of leading its own digitization in order to be able to really meet its clients where they work, where they live, to allow them to transact digitally more conveniently, more cost effectively. And I think this process is only beginning. I think we've just started to see some of the changes that financial technology can bring to people's lives. And I think we will see Accion Microfinance Bank over the next years continue to lead the charge in providing digital financial services to micro enterprises throughout Nigeria that are cheaper, faster, better than analog services. And I very much look forward to seeing where Accion Microfinance Bank is 15 years from now.
My journey as the pioneer managing director of Accion Microfinance Bank was actually very exciting. It was an exciting time. It was interesting to join Accion without a lot of banking experience and then being made MD. Well, I would say that we had a good team, and because microfinance in itself at that time was innovative, it needed someone who will come in with new ideas to say, okay, we understand the problem of SMEs. How are we going to design our products to make sure that they truly need it? So we went into the market. We started off in Okeari market, one of the biggest markets in Lagos State. And from Okeari market, we designed our products, looked at the loan size, how to evaluate loans without asking for collateral, basically looking at people's cash flow. And design products. So people were surprised, carrying that. You mean I don't need any collateral? I don't have to bring my mother, grandmother, and all those kind of things. That you will give me money, and we did. And truly, I will tell you that our clients, especially at Accion at that time, were excellent. They, through word of mouth, they kept expanding, getting customers for us. Referrals was one of the major ways that we were able to grow our customer base. And as we started to grow in Okeari, we then said, okay, let's expand. So the first thing we did was to set up another 4 branches. When we even started Accion, we had a technology, the core banking application that we wanted to customize to the Nigerian market, to our own product type. It kept taking too long. They had promised us that they would do a 6-month implementation period. I think we ended up using 18 months. So we started off using Excel to actually run the bank. So even by the time we wanted to go to that 4 branches to have become 5, we were still using Excel because the core banking system was not ready. So that transition, overcoming those challenges, and because we couldn't say we would just sit down waiting. First of all, Accion 2 at that time was one of the first to receive a license under the new microfinance bank framework. So everybody was looking to Accion with the international affiliation that Accion had. They too, for them, was one of the first investments they've done in the African market, and in particular Nigeria. And we kept being innovative. For instance, Accion was one of the first to introduce Credit Life Plus. And when I say plus, is that you actually had an extra amount that covered fire, burglary, and special perils. So when there was a time that Okeari now had a fire incident, all our customers were able to restart their business very fast, whereas the others were still at home. And just because of that, a lot of people said, we have to go to Accion. We started off what we call the customer forum, and every year have an annual gathering of our customers. So the testimonies that they always give, to me was just transformational. In one of the very first ones, one customer actually almost moved me to tears. Even anytime I repeat it, it still makes me emotional, because the person said before Accion came, I was a nobody in his family. I'm the one that used to go around begging, I don't have money, I can't pay school fees. But with Accion, when they gave them the loan, that his business started growing, that she became someone who was now, they were asking her advice, that she became a person, So the transformation that you see with the customers, to me, is just the most memorable. And I would say, I don't know whether I would call it the third most remarkable thing, but when I list the most remarkable achievement for me, to me, is also about leadership. It's about the fact that today, Accion is even bigger than when I left. So to me, that's the mark of leadership, I always say. The fact that we were able to find Taiwo Joda, he's taken that organization even bigger with all the digital products that you have now, the expansion. I still continue to hear good things about Accion. So to me, that's it. You don't leave a place and then it falls down as if without you. No, it should actually grow beyond that.
I joined Accion August 2017 as the MD CEO, and it was an interesting moment, especially when you consider the events that were happening that were shaping the world of microfinance banks. So it was the twilight of when the fintechs were coming in, and they've always been around, but you have a lot of startup fintechs not just coming in but receiving massive funding from all over the world, and they were competing using agile technology. They're very nimble in their approach, and they're very customer focused. It also marked the era when most commercial banks in Nigeria saw the huge opportunity in the retail banking space, and they began to compete with what we then call the kobo business with the microfinance banks. And of course, on the back of that was the regulators asking for recapitalization, asking for stricter measures to ensure that the customers and the consumers, and especially our depositors, are not badly treated, and have that confidence that the ecosystem has lost with the manifolding up of the microfinance banks. So it was a bag of mixed feelings, acceptance of a new challenge, but knowing also the enormity of the work that needs to be done and reshaping the industry. I think first and foremost for Accion Microfinance Bank is trying to reinvent in ourselves. Always knowing that there is something new to learn, not living in denials. We had instances where we had even started thinking of our own digital journey before the advent of the fintechs. And so we just knew we had to reinvent ourselves. We know that it's either you innovate or you die. And so we decided to unlearn what we've learned, and we came up with a new business model that will fit into today's world, a new business model that will focus on the type of customers we want to serve and give them exactly what they need. And what's that? Convenience and efficient pricing. We moved to drive advocacy, engaging the regulators, especially the Central Bank of Nigeria and other stakeholders. And we introduced a financial inclusion seminar where we created a platform where the stakeholders and operators in the industry can come together to deliberate and, more importantly, to collaborate on what we need to do to drive a win-win mental approach to the business of microfinance. Creating an environment for the institutions constituting the microfinance sector to learn, we contributed in a small measure. And like I said, we just continue to retool ourselves. So we upgraded our digital strategy, and we've been implementing the digital strategy. And undoubtedly, we're one of the foremost microfinance banks in Nigeria today that has adopted digital and can compete favorably globally when it comes to technology and digital adoption. And so Accion started by giving out loans to the MSMEs, the micro, small, and medium enterprises. And in the last 15 years, we have disbursed 191 billion naira in loans to about 604,000 micro entrepreneurs across Nigeria. We operate from 12 states, and that has been a huge impact. We have a YouTube channel that captures the testimonials of most of our customers, and the delight, the joy for us is seeing people who are not financially buoyant, who are not financially stable, growing to become financial juggernauts, going to employ a lot of labor. So of course, we also reached out to a lot of public schools, growing our social impact metrics and giving them back to school, impacting on them. And we indeed also not only give money to the MSMEs, but also we teach them how to prosper in their business. We teach them sustainability, and we teach them how to save by also creating saving products for them and by creating other financial services. So honestly, in Accion, I have many proud moments. We've won several international awards. I can't even remember all of them. And the best excitement that comes is when people recognize you for what you do and acknowledges you for that. So each of those awards that come are proud moments for me. One of the awards that I hold and I cherish so much is the award that was given to us. We're recognized as a great place to work in Nigeria, and that also shows how we treat our staff, how we engage with our staff, and what our staff think of the Accion brand. I believe the journey to greatness has just begun, and I hope and believe that in the coming years, we will not just operate from 12 states. We'll be present in the 36 states across Nigeria, and we will continue to grow our customers, not just grow them, but also grow customer loyalty. And we will remain unarguably the best microfinance bank in Nigeria. I want to thank the board, I want to thank our customers, I want to thank my colleagues, the amazing staff, and I want to thank all our stakeholders for believing in us and staying with us all through. Let's celebrate.